Hey guys, it's Steven. Today I'm going to be going over my Byte strategy and how I am providing liquidity through Uniswap and how I am determining my liquidity zones and what does that mean providing liquidity in different zones. I'll show you exactly what I'm doing. So first, I want to explain to you what floor trader pivots are. So it's just a simple mathematical equation. To find the pivot, you take the previous high, you take the previous low, and you take the previous close, and you divide that by 3. You also get these supports and resistance using these calculations. The easiest way to do it is just tap it into this app here. You can put in those numbers, and it calculates it for you. So I've been using this chart for a couple days now. It's been pretty accurate, and what it's giving me is a 90 central pivot. So for the last couple of days, I've just been providing liquidity between 85 and 76. And what happened was I was able to accumulate a pretty good amount of fees the first day, about $400 between this zone here. And what ended up happening is we had this huge spike due to the news about being able to use bytes to claim land deeds. So as a negative of being this aggressive, the price can get away from you. If the price keeps going up, maybe we'll never see these numbers again, and then you'll have to use Ethereum gas fees to unstake and then provide different zones of liquidity. And that's definitely a negative. But the positives is you have a set amount of Ethereum ready to accumulate from the impatient people, the people who need to sell, the people who just aren't sure. So for me, I love doing that. If you want to be a seller, I'll be there to take those fees and take those bytes from you. And even if we do dump below the 76 area, I'm ready to buy that dip as well. So I think the real key is to just be ready for anything. You need to be happy if it goes low. You need to be happy if it keeps going without you. So that's the medium that you want to find. So the truth is, I actually sold this 90 pivot on this top here. I just felt like this is obvious resistance, so I just went ahead and took some profit on my bytes, and I'm ready to go ahead and throw that right back in here. And like I said, I'm going to accumulate these bytes here. The more boring, the better. And yeah, that's the plan. So let's just go a little bit deeper into what pivot points are and how you can use them. So if you go to this site here, patterntrapper.com, they have the floor trade pivot calculator. And you can kind of see that it's mostly used for traders. And especially short term, it's very helpful. You can use previous day's activity to kind of decide what support and resistance will be. So if you guys want to go through here and check it out, I think it's pretty useful. Somebody that I follow who got me into pivots, his name's Jeff York. He's got some good charts. He mostly does stocks, but he does also do Bitcoin. And as you can see, these pivots end up being pretty useful. They find support, they find resistance, and using pretty short time frames. So to keep moving here, I want to go over the bytes to Ethereum ratio. Same deal here. This is my liquidity spot here. I'm going to accumulate here and just see what happens. Obviously, it's a very aggressive strategy, but I feel like it's a risk I'm willing to take. Because either way, I'm happy. If it goes down, I'm accumulating. If it goes up, I'm making good income. So let's keep moving here. I'm going to go ahead and just create a pivot chart right now, just to help people kind of grasp what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. I'm going to use a monthly pivot, so it's a little bit longer time frame. So we have the month of November here, and the end was about, I'm just going to make the numbers easy. So we got 4,800. The start was 4,200. Low 3,600. And these are the numbers that I came up with. So we got the $4,400 pivot here. So let's just go ahead and chart this and see what we find. So this will be the monthly pivot here at 4,200. And as you can see, right away from the beginning of the month, we went right directly down to that central pivot. And we had it come down to here a few times, act as resistance. Didn't really test it too much as support. And let's just get this support one was at 4,000. Again, a lot of action here as support, not so much resistance. So for the rest of this month, what would be great is if we do get the central pivot touch and then we find some support. That's what I'm looking for. And then got that resistance too high up there. We can't really chart that, but I mean, it's just pretty simple, just simple math. You know, the way I look at it is it's a lot easier to use pivots versus like something like this. I like to use the Fisher just for momentum, but you can't really use momentum to make intraday trades and decisions. So, you know, on this Bytes here, it obviously looks like we're ready to start making some moves, which is good to see. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that. And just to go a little bit further into what it's like to provide liquidity and choose ranges, I like to use the this ratio here. You can change it, you know, Bytes versus ETH. I feel like it's a lot easier for me. I just like to use ETH versus Bytes, and that's what I got here. And yeah, I mean, you just simply put in the ranges that you want. You can decide right here if you want to do 0.22 to 1.8. And you can see people are doing the same thing. They're providing liquidity where they feel fit, where they think the action is going to happen, which is, you know, right below 100, right above 100. I tend to agree. That seems like a good idea there. So let's go ahead and check the volume for today. 1.56 million looks good. I like to see it above a million. We'll see if we can keep this up here. All right, so the floor is definitely down a bit. We were above 170,000 yesterday. We're down a little bit on the S1 yield 4. Land floor is definitely down from 60,000 to 50,000, now 43,000. That's because people can redeem Bytes for land. Outer identity's up a little bit. That's great. Holders, we're up 14 holders today. The supply is down 1,646. That's good to see. And yesterday I was at 447. Today I'm only up about $120, and that's because I'm providing liquidity in this range here. We had this big move above where my liquidity is, and that's the risk that I take. But I feel comfortable doing that. And that's it. You can follow my Twitter if you want to keep up to date with all the YouTube releases. And that's it. See you next time.